Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web. And RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
And DFWCatholic.org, spreading the truth, one city at a time.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris. Muslims threatening papal mass. British officials fear the Pope's upcoming visit to Birmingham, England, could be marred by violence after a fundamentalist Muslim group told followers to convert Catholics attending an open-air mass. The sinister orders have appeared in an inflammatory article on a hardline Muslim website called The Islamic Standard, which also brands the Pope himself as evil. It's urging Muslims to disrupt the Pope's appearance at Cofton Park in September, when up to 80,000 Catholics will attend an outdoor mass. Man sues over religious firing. A former bus driver in Austin, Texas, is suing the capital area rural transportation system, charging that the 9-county transit service discriminated against him based on his religious beliefs when he was fired for refusing to drive women to a Planned Parenthood clinic in January. According to his lawsuit, Edwin Graining was, quote, concerned that he might be transporting a client to undergo an abortion, end quote, when he got the assignment to take 2 women to Planned Parenthood. Graining is seeking reinstatement, back pay, and undisclosed damages for pain, suffering, and emotional distress. He's represented by lawyers from the American Center for Law and Justice. D.C. conservatives to take marriage to high court. Christians and other conservative groups in Washington and D.C. are determined to take the so-called gay marriage issue to the U.S. Supreme Court after their appeal to let the people vote on the matter was rejected. Quote, in America, we respect the right to vote. The citizens of the District of Columbia should not have had their voices suppressed by the government, but that is exactly what is happening here, end quote. Those words from the senior legal counsel with the Alliance Defense Fund. In a narrow 5-4 ruling, the D.C. Court of Appeals upheld last week on Thursday the decision of the D.C. Board of Elections and Ethics to block residents from voting on the issue of so-called same-sex marriage. Marriage for gay and lesbian couples was legalized in the district by lawmakers in December, and the law went into effect in March. Stay with us, back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium. CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world. CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Diocese of Peoria meets with university officials. The Diocese of Peoria has met with officials from the University of Illinois to discuss the termination of adjunct professor Dr. Kenneth Howell. The diocese said it did not respond to the termination sooner because it wanted to first meet with university officials. Howell was fired from the University of Illinois after an anonymous student complained that his statements, the professor's, about homosexuality amounted to hate speech. The statements were made within the context of an Introduction to Catholicism class this past spring. The professor had taught at the university for 9 years. In his defense, Howell said he was simply explaining Catholic teaching on homosexual behavior. According to the Church, he said, and is correct, homosexual behavior violates natural law and is immoral. And lastly, Missouri now the 5th to stop abortion dollars under the new health care law. Democratic Governor of Missouri, Jay Nixon, who supports abortion, allowed a bill to become law without his signature that makes Missouri the 5th state to opt out of some of the abortion funding in Obamacare. The bill also provides women the ability to see an ultrasound of their unborn child before an abortion is done. The measure also gives women considering abortions 24 hours to reflect on that ultrasound and information they would receive on fetal development. The Missouri full House voted 113 to 37 in favor of the legislation on its side after the Senate voted 26 to 5, meaning the legislature more than likely had enough votes to override a Nixon veto. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and check out The Vortex today, where we talk about the power of the Catholic priesthood. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.